I think this is an extremely important event for the ICRC and for you, but also for Israel.
This is a competition in which we allow the students who participate to spend time really getting to know international humanitarian law. They invest a lot of time, a lot of months of work, and then they come here and they use it.
Role-playing part of the competition is actually probably my favorite part of the competition. It's really nice to get your acting skills on, sort of learn how to be different characters in different situations, always think how different you should be. I think it's one of the most interesting and challenging parts of the competition. The ICRC's position in Israel is actually a very, very important one. I think Israel is usually fighting an asymmetrical warfare, which is something that's quite new to the world and hard to sort of understand. It needs outside guidance.
Because of the intensity of the experience, because of the time spent, which is for most of them over several months, and the nature and the fact that really we're not just talking about the law in theory, but actually applying it in we try our best to simulate real practice. And in actual fact, many of our simulations do actually resemble quite closely what happens in real life. I think this is an experience that the students will take for the rest of their lives. I mean, we've seen it empirically, how students, that they basically form a community which stays together for years after the competition. I would say to the students, even if you're not going to practice IHL, that this experience, working with the law and actually applying it in real life, is something which will put you in good stead into any legal field that you're going to go into. Because the importance is not so much what the law says, it's how you work with the law, and that you're getting here. I don't think it has a parallel anywhere in your legal education.
It was a very close deliberation. The four of us sat down for quite a while and discussed, and we went through painstaking notes. And the teams going to the final round are F and G.
International humanitarian law, or IHL competition for Israel and the occupied territories is an important part of the work of the legal department in the ICRC here, because we do a lot of work with universities as part of the studies that they do to make them aware of the issues that are relevant to them, but also importantly because law students often go on to be future leaders of society in government, in the military, in academia, and so they can influence policies and thinking in this area.
I think that as a person who was born and raised in Israel and who understands most of the complexities here in the Middle East, I feel that international humanitarian law, unfortunately, is relevant here more than perhaps anywhere else. International humanitarian law is a law that governs how to behave and how to act in times of armed conflicts or in times of occupations. And some of its provisions are relevant to what is happening here in Israel.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final of the 8th National Competition of International Humanitarian Law for Israel. We've arrived at this point in the competition. This evening, the two teams that were judged to be the best overall are going to compete to determine who will be crowned national champions.
So the winner team of the national competition, IHL Israel 2014, 8th national edition, is the team composed of Lydia Silver-Benay.